Morning, evening, afternoon, good night, whatever. Here we go again, eh? As you can see, it gets to Friday. I'm firing on all cylinders, probably a bit like everybody else. And this is really the kind of start of my working week. Anyway, just getting my baby wipes out. Start milk, cup of coffee. Right, what have we got today? I wouldn't get excited. Honestly, the records are... sorry about the noise. The records are... well, look, we start off with Michael Bolton, and it goes downhill from there. So, you know, make your choices. You could be doing something much better than sat here watching me. Anyways, at the top, obviously I get overexcited with the merch, right? But you know, if you had your own shop and you had your own brand and all that sort of stuff, you probably get overexcited too. All the tops I get, you can get all this merch. You can ask me about it if you want any of it, and some of you do, so thank you for that. But you can get them in all sorts of various colours. This is an album cover. I kind of get mine themed, hence why they're all a bit, you know, they're not all run of the mill. So this is, if you know the album cover, that these colours are off. There's other colours on the album cover, but then, and if you know me, you'll be able to have a guess. So, but if you do know it, then well done, you're clever. And you know what you win? Nothing. You win nothing. Right, I'm just going to grab me coffee, and then, what shall I say? As I grab me coffee. Thank you to everybody who came to the gig for Helen. That was absolutely marvellous, and we had a lovely time. Oh, sorry. We had a lovely time, and we always do with these gigs. They're always really great. It's just, it is what you think it is. Why did he bang the milk? I don't know why they bang the milk. It's obviously, I was going to say, to spread the heat. That just sounds ridiculous. It always gets cold at the bottom anyway. I don't know. I've got beyond thinking. I think you've probably worked that out. Alright. Clean that later. Yeah, anyway. Helen's gig was great. Buy that. I've got that's in the shop, support local music. I think Helen's just been signed to a record label, which is good. And she may very well come back when she releases her album. Next gig is April 29th, and that is Liam Ashcroft. And he's going to be playing over there in the corner. And that will be great. That'll be free. And that'll be the last Saturday of April 29th. What else? Open this Sunday. Open the first. Need a shade. Let me wonky at. Open. Got me trust. This is not a tissue to baby wipe. So they're not good for the environment, are they? I mean, they're dead handy, but they're not good for the environment. I've got to work out another way of doing that. I'll have to go back to Terry's nappies, Terry toweling, and boil wash them. Sunday, open Sunday, 11 till 3. Tom will be here, I'll be here. If you want to really come down and have that high fidelity experience, that's the day to come. We'll just be eating ginger nut biscuits and drinking tea and coffee and coming up with amazing ideas that we will be able to do. If you want to be part of that fantasy, then come on down. What else? Yeah, mention that. Should we get into the records in a minute? We normally go at 4 minutes, don't we? So, welcome if you just joined at 4 minutes. Let's start to get through the records. But if you don't watch these videos and you just jump to the 4 minute stage, then unfortunately you're going to have to put up with some of my jabbering. This is where I picked this up in the shop the other day, and I thought, oh yeah, you know, honestly, you just bluff everything in life, don't you? And I read it, and it's not bluffing enough. I think this needs to be upgraded. You know, I mean, it's got some good ideas about like confidence and just how you just put things off and you say, yeah, I'll come back to you on that. Yeah, stuff like that is a great way of just like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's worthwhile. But I think this could be volumes. I mean, I think I could write this in volumes, bluffing. So well done to whoever wrote that. Doesn't even say. They don't put their name on it. I would. Guide to Bluffing. What did Quentin Crisp said? If at first you don't succeed, maybe failure is your style. Have a go. Look at me, I'm having a go. Anyway, we should probably say 5 minutes. So I'll say 5 minutes for the record. So welcome if you joined in 5 minutes. It's rubbish. It's dross. It's absolute garbage this week. You know, but they can't all be winners, can they? They can't all be absolute amazing records. But so a lot of them are cheap. Not all of them are rubbish. That's not fair. It's just cheap stuff. Right. Michael Bolton, safe sacks. It's always a good joke, that, isn't it? Sammy. So it's not rubbish. It's not fair. I'm not saying Sammy's rubbish. Not at all. Sammy's a genius. There's a great video of him. I think it was just before he died, and he gets up and does this tap dance, and he's absolutely. He's obviously, the guy's obviously ill, but he absolutely owns it, and he's amazing. I love Sammy. Of all those crooners, I love Sammy and Bobby Darin, my faves. I know my mum's probably shouting, Dino, Dino. Yeah, bit of Dino for you. Andy, I've got like an absolute shed of cheap Elvis LPs. I'm not going to go through them all, but there's absolutely loads of them, all clearly all put out after the poor fella bit the dust, or bit the 3-inch shag pile carpet. I think it was this colour on it. It was meant to be like, was a deep red shag pile carpet. It's a way to go, isn't it? You know what I mean? Lying in thick shag pile carpet. Not that we're going to give that much thought. I mean, we all do, don't we? I haven't done a ding for anybody who's died. No famous rock stars have died, so I have a ding for anybody who you're thinking about who might have snuggled up to shag pile carpet recently. Anyway, cheap Elvis. I've always found this is one of them albums, isn't it, that you find everywhere. And if you're when you're really desperate to buy a record in a charity shop and it's like 25p, I mean, it's not in this shop, got a fiver on it. You always think, oh, yeah, I'll buy that, and then you never play it. It's got always on my mind on it, but I don't know if it's like an original Pickwick. I think Elvis must be the epitome of cashed in after the fella died. Anyway, I'm not even going to go through these. However, Christmas album, get your Christmas records now. Elvis. None of them are like, you know, original black label RCA presses of his 78. So I've got some of them, and the blue ones over there. Come in and I'll play with me dance set. It's great. I've got Yakety Yak by the Coasters, and it's great. It sounds brilliant on the dance set. It's my favourite. And Bird Dog, the Everly Brothers, sounds boss. Anyway, but this is all cheap stuff. It's not his first album either. I think I've just had that. Anyway, it's all going out in the. I don't even think I've got an Elvis section. I think it just goes out in the cheap bin. More cheap nonsense. Some soul, bit of Diana Ross, OJ's. All this is cheap stuff. Comps. Playing. Oh no, that's the soundtrack, is it? Playing for Keeps. Remember that? No, nobody does. Because it was probably dreadful. Life to Life, Pete Townsend. We Said Hello, Phil Collins. Here to Stay, Sister Sledge. Stand By Me, Julian Lennon. Julian Lennon, cracking singer, cracking artist. I mean, obviously, where'd you go if you're Julian Lennon? It's difficult, isn't it? Glenn. Wichita Lineman. I mean, you can't beat a bit of Glenn Campbell, can you? Galveston. Absolute belter. It's got your cheating art on this. Oh yeah. Hank Williams. That's a tune, innit? But you're all singing it now. If you're not singing Elvis or Dino or Glenn Campbell by now, you're in the wrong place. Four Tops. It's kind of how I envisage my wedding would be wearing suits like that and doing synchronised kind of dancing. But I envisaged it more like, you know, kind of the suits that the band would wear on the Love Boat. You know, like the suits they wear in Dumb and Dumber. The kind of orange and baby blue. But it wasn't. It was in a pub in Marleybone. Happy days. Four Tops. Reach out. There is some good records at the end. I'm honestly, there is. I mean, these are all good, but these are cheap, aren't they? You want something like You know, you all want Talking Heads albums or television albums for like 4p or something, don't you? Dream on. I mean, why do you want television when you could have Now and Then by the Carpenters? Seriously. Somebody came in the shop, very nice lady, and she bought quite a bit of Carpenters. I had some Carpenters in the £2 bin there. She bought a bit of that, and whether she liked it or not, I gave her my theses on calling occupants of interplanetary craft. She didn't want it. She was trying to give me a £2 to get out the shop, and I basically informed her about what an important song that was in the pop canon, and how it should really, you know, differentiate the Carpenters from what they're normally perceived as being, and how it's kind of a revolutionary rock prog pop track. She thanked me as she was trying to get out the door. You know what I mean? Anyway, if you've never heard Calling Occupants of Interplanetary Craft, then I feel sorry for you, and you must turn this on. Honestly, turn it off now. Put it on. It's amazing. I'm going to be doing a podcast, and I need to get some stuff set up with a couple of special guests. Stay tuned. And it's going to be about like songs that you might not like them, or but they really mean something because they've been inspirational, they've driven you, they got you into music, or they just mean something because it's something big part of your life. So it's not really stuff it's not like Desert Island Disco where you want to take it with you. It's just really influential. So I've got 3 tracks, and they're not all tracks I would necessarily play, but you know, Calling Interplanetary Craft of Calling Occupants of Interplanetary, you know the one. That's on the subs bench. I mean, it's a strong contender. It might get a late call in, depending. Grandmaster Flash, I'm giving them away, but obviously Grandmaster Flash is going to be in there. And then obviously this entire Des O'Connor Christmas album. I told you it was garbage. I told you you should be doing something else. You shouldn't be watching me. Honestly, it's Friday or Saturday or Monday or whatever you're meant to be doing. Don't be watching me. Anyway, I do enjoy my job, right? I love it. It's a job. It's not a job. It's not a job. Holly's Sing Dylan. I mean, it's worth a play, that, isn't it? Well, give it a go. Blowing in the Wind, Wheels on Fire, Just Like a Woman. Don't like that track. I'm not a massive... Dylan's obviously a genius, etc, etc. But have you seen... I'm going to like put my big fat face in front of this camera now. Yeah. Right. Sorry about this. Have you seen that movie, is it Inside Llewellyn Davis, which is about the folk scene and about the artist? It's brilliant. Is it the Coen Brothers? It's a great movie. I've only watched it once. I don't think I'll watch it again because it's just too emotional. You got to watch it. It's brilliant. It's harsh, but it's about this amazingly talented folk singer, and then you'll see. There's loads of artists out there who kind of maybe don't get the recognition that they fully deserve, and maybe some get more. Anyway, look, Dylan's amazing, obviously, but that's what you want. Look at that, Woody Guthrie 8-track, sealed. I just don't want to open it. I might do an unboxing and play it on my 8-track machine. Woody Guthrie is what you want. Woody Guthrie, wow. I mean, you're there, you're in the Dust Bowl. If you're listening to Woody, amazing. Moving on. New press of that. Right, got a load of Quo represses in. So, Big B came in the shop yesterday, and we just had a coffee, talked about the Quo, and we played this. I've never heard it all the way through. And the first track, Backwater, was great. And then I thought it sounded a bit like, some of it sounded a bit like Dr. Feelgood. I mean, we're drawing that comparison about, you know, rock and roll music and about how you can have bands you think were completely opposites, like Dr. Feelgood and the Quo. Particularly this type of era Quo, this down Quo. But I thought there was real comparisons to be drawn. They sounded very similar in a lot of spaces. Obviously the guitar's different, but the fact that they're playing that kind of boogie rock and roll in their own inimitable way, it's a big word. Let's have a pause for a big word. have a sip of coffee. Every time I say a big word, I'll have a sip of coffee. Inimitable. That's a big word. Alright. Done that. Anyway, yeah, so get on the quo. And it got me, there's loads of quo here about it. These are all represses. These are like 5-10 quid each. I know you bought that one yesterday, mate, but this is a repress of it. Hello, quo. Lots of quo. In the out there. Back to back. Never too late. Rocking all over the world. I think my first memory of the quo was seeing my aunt and uncle nearly headbutt each other dancing, as some family do. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. And it frightened the life out of me, frankly. That left me emotionally scarred. So, so you're going to headbutt each other? Well done, though. It's very impressive. Blue for you. Pile driver's the one, isn't it? How's it on the level? Down, down. The album version. Playing that in a bit. Love that track. Anyway, Quo get a bad press, don't they? And they shouldn't, because they're absolutely boss. And look, because they're boss, we're creating a little Quo. There's some on my merch, by the way, so if you want a bag, beanie, bag, Quo. We're going to do a little shrine to the Quo. All I've got is that poster out of one of the albums, but that's staying there. So if you got any Quo stuff you want to donate to my shrine, whatever, you know, Francis Rossi's Stage 1, Plimsolls from 1975, you can put them on loan like in a museum. All right. Told you you should be doing something else. You're watching this, thinking, oh, well, watch that. No, you should be doing something else. You could be reading a book. You know what I mean? I'm struggling with this book at the moment, reading this sci-fi, like, space opera thing, because it's meant to be, you know, I don't really read that stuff, but it's meant to be amazing. And I don't know, do you read books and if you can't get into them, you put them down? Because by all accounts, this book gets going on about page 500. And I've struggled with that because I feel like I've got to see books through, but when I have done that, it's been a real chore. I remember when I was younger reading the Count of Monte Cristo, and I thought, oh, come on, just get on with your revenge. You could have it done in about a page and a half. But no, it went on and on and on, and I felt obliged to read it, but it did go on. I think I'm going to put this one down and pick up something else. If all else fails, just go back to a bit of Bukowski. You know, that kind of sets the bar for the sort of stuff that really, you know, I find easy to read. We're talking literature. Oh, so cultured. Drifters, Goldmits, Mordino, Jacques Brel. I picked these up in France when I was over there a couple of years ago. Someone was selling a load of Jacques Brel stuff. So original French pressings on the Barclay label. Nothing expensive, but I mean, uber coolness. Yeah. Uber coolness. I mean, no doubt died of lung cancer for the sheer amount of ciggies that you smoke. Have you seen that? Is it Serge Gainsbourg? There's a YouTube video for Serge Gainsbourg, and it's a load of kids all dressed up as him, all pretending to smoke and drink, and just singing like a homage. I think it's Serge Gainsbourg, and he's just sat there, tears streaming from his eyes, smoking and drinking. It's insane. It's in the 80s. You got to look it up. It's absolutely bonkers. Deer Hunter, loads of soundtracks out there, tons of good stuff. Comedy, spoken word, some interesting. And obviously the Goons are amazing, but you pick this stuff up. I've got the Goons and Hancock and all that stuff. Get it in charity shops, but I've got a dedicated section here. Completely juxtaposition the Ghost Poet Dark Days and Canapes album. I think that's on white vinyl. This is, I think, I've got these Kool-Aid albums. I think they're Bob from Probe. I think there is. Oh, I've given the game away. They're pretty cool, psyche stuff. I think there's another one somewhere at the back. But they were sat in my collection and I wasn't playing them, so I thought, well, they're better going to somebody who does play them, who will play them. So come in the shop and have a listen to some of that stuff if you like. Picked up some Dave Brubeck. Love a bit of Dave Brubeck. Always just smiling. The whole band are always just loving it and into it. One of the greatest drummers ever, Joe Morello. Just put Dave Brubeck on and don't look at Dave Brubeck or the dude doing the Take 5 sax thing who wrote it, whatever his name is. You know, it was like a Latin teacher. Don't look at him, look at Joe Morello, and then he does a drum solo. I think it is in Take 5, and he puts his sticks down and plays with his hands. He is technically, he's amazing, Joe Morello. This is Dave, did I show you this last week? Dave Brubeck doing Disney. So I get confused. I think you worked that out by now. 21 minutes. We're getting there. We're getting there. I am enthusiastic. I feel a bit tired. I think I had something dodgy last night, and you know when you just feel a bit ugh. Feel a bit like that. Anyway, look, this is a famous Brazilian samba LP from the late 50s. This is a repress of it, because the original is like $1,000 to buy on the Trunk label, and I've got loads of Trunk stuff, and they just do some really interesting, I think obscure is the best way of putting it, records, but they're all fantastic. Lots of emphasis on kind of samba and bossa nova stuff, soundtracks as well. I think I've got a soundtrack on Trunk, but come in and get that. I mean, that's a brilliant record. Oh, local band, Matty from the Shipbuilders came in and gave me some of his records, so come in and get that. So happy to stock some more local artist stuff. Amazing, as you'd expect. Abba Dabba Doo. Always liked this album, Super Trooper, and I always thought, oh look, ABBA have got 5 members, because if you look, there's 4 of them, and then there's this dude hanging on the end there. Look at him. Guns N' Roses, you could be... That was my Axl Rose impression. That's what Axl Rose sounds like now. Ooh, this is great. This is great. I mean, certainly the first side 1, 1, 2, 3, first 3 tracks straight in, boom. I mean, the whole album's amazing, but the first 3 tracks. Jeff Ely in again, amazing. Jeff, everything's amazing in it. I sound like that bloke who annoys me off the telly. What's the one? George, what's his face? You know the one who does the... He's the architect, isn't he? So he's very talented, a very nice guy. I don't know him personally, but it annoys me, like I probably annoy lots of people. But he annoys me because everything's fabulous. Oh, look, they're all living inside this matchbox. They're living inside this bell. Oh, people, he's amazing, fabulous. He doesn't go in and, he's not like the other bloke, McLeod. He goes, what did you do here? How much did you spend on this? He's just, everything's fabulous. It's like, it's not though, is it? Spider Jazz soundtrack. I think I've had a couple of copies in of this, but this is again on Trunk, and this is the jazz cues from the Spider-Man cartoon series. I mean, how that's cool. I think just having that record in and that Tam Tam Samba record makes up for the Elvis and all that sort of nonsense. Numero. I think I just had to dig some stuff off the shelves that was cool. This, you know, I love this label Numero. They're really some boss stuff, and I've got some of the secondhand. I've got some stuff in secondhand to sell. This is a great, utterly superb soul comp. Brilliant. They're not cheap. Phantom of the Opera. I only put this in because of the thing I wrote on it, which is just Ooh Betty, and that's it. Because I'm hilarious, and then I've got things sticking up on the doodah. Right, soundtracks. Star Trek. They practically invented South America. If you know that, I think that's the line from that movie. Eric Von Daniken. Maybe there was. I don't think there's aliens, but maybe that definitely was, no doubt, intelligent civilization. Wiped out by alien dinosaurs or something. I don't know. Soundtracks, commitments. Imelda Quirk. James Brown. You know, I was playing a bit of James Brown and a bit of Bobby Bird and then getting into some soul funk stuff. And I was looking at it and it was cool the way everybody, not everybody, but a lot of the artists have cool like names. They have inserts in their names like Gus the Groove Lewis, Bernard Pretty Purdy, you know, stuff like that. And Boogaloo Joe Jones, fantastic jazz guitar player, he's amazing. And I just thought, God, I love a cool name. So, you know, Alan, awesome dudes. I mean, just, you know, I mean, Gus Lewis has obviously been like that cool that someone's just gone the groove. And that's stuck. Imagine being that cool. You can't, unfortunately, because I don't know necessarily who you are watching this, but you're not going to be that cool. You're not. Unless someone's called you, you haven't made that name up yourself. Someone's given you that name, Bernard Pretty Purdy, right? And I think Bernard's a pretty man, right? You go and look at Bernard, he's a good looking fella. But I think that's more about his pretty drumming. Wow. Anyway, annoying? Alan, that means kicking off. It's a comedy name, innit? Alan, annoying. Deeves. Alum. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, more soul coolness. God, this album's amazing. I got this on. It's just the coolest. I've showed you that before, right? Otis, Carla, New Orleans, Soul Comp on Soul Jazz. Another amazing label. All their stuff is just boss. I've showed this before, but I'm digging it out because I've not sold it yet. And you know, I like my garage rock stuff. And this is one of the best comps out there. This series, Mind Rocker comps. More amazing compilations, Hope and Anchor, from that 1970s pub rock scene in Portobello. Clifford T. Ward. I've never really given Clifford T. Ward much of a listen, but I was looking through my, you know, Best Music You Never Heard book, and Clifford T. Ward was in there, so I'm going to give that a listen. Stuffies, one of the first gigs I ever went to. Don Fagan, The Nightfly, best Steely Dan album ever, that. More of the Boss. Best work. Love it. I always keep records in that I love, but Sigourney Weaver, I mean, they're all amazing tracks, right? But Sigourney Weaver is brilliant. They're all fantastic. Queen of Denmark is epic. Mountain. I've just obviously gone and dug some stuff out in the racks that I really love. Ooh, Monks. Right, I have some box sets in, so come and have a look at the box sets. Not really, is this really collectibles? Yeah, I guess so. Collectibles at 28 minutes. Hello, welcome to Collectibles. Oasis, box set, Stop the Clocks, Buzzcocks, box set. I'm going fast now because I've been slow. Nick Drake. I can't do me quotes because I'm a bit late. Let's give you one quote while I'm doing my box sets. I think they're mugs to stop. David Mose. Status Who. Martin Rushent. There we go. More quotes this time next week. Oh, I was going to tell you, what's the other thing to mention? Oh, yeah, checking in on whether the Beyond have reformed, right? You've got to go and listen to this band. I learned that, I mean, clearly they haven't, but I was sometimes going to give you no in other languages, wasn't I? Here's my no. This week. That's in BSL. I was watching it on, you look it up, and there's loads of no's. This is, so I think BSL have got no nailed down. So more of that this time next week. Nick Drake, Family Tree, box set. More of this Numero stuff, these box sets, they're fantastic, the Numero label. And I've gone out and got imported some of these from the US to sell to you lovely people. Body Recording. And then this is a Pebbles box set. This is the original one. Pebbles Rock box set. What else was I going to tell you? Oh yeah, last one's Walker Brothers. Signed albums by the Walker Brothers. Signed by them all. So if you want to buy something, the Messiah, it's Scott Walker has touched, then you can buy it from my record shop. I'll put that away later. Other signed Walker Brothers albums. What else was there? Yeah, open on the... I think that's it, isn't it? Local music. Yeah, there's always something else. I always forget to put something in. But it's 30 minutes, so let's give it a ding. Let's give it a ding for the end. And enjoy your weekend. If you want to come in the shop, we're here Saturday and Sunday. And I'm just going to give you 5 seconds to... Because I was sure there was something else to put in. Was there? No. Oh, no. If you have any quo memorabilia you want to put in the museum, the shrine, you want to loan it, and give us a shout. Or if you're Francis Rossi or John Coughlin and you want to come and stand in the museum for a bit, you want a free coffee, and we'll play records and be cool. All right. See you later. Bye.